Welcome back to Coin Quest, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change and dive into the fascinating world of coins and currency. Today we're talking about a classic American coin that's captured the attention of collectors for generations, the 1941 wheat penny. That humble one-cent piece you might pass by without a second glance could actually be worth far more than its face value. Some of these coins can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the condition and specific variety. So sit back, relax, and let's take a journey through history and value as we explore everything you need to know about the 1941 wheat penny. Let's start with a little background on the wheat penny series itself. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse features a portrait of Lincoln, which continues to this day. But the reverse design, featuring two stalks of wheat, was used from 1909 until 1958. These wheat ears are what give the coin its nickname, the wheat penny. They represent prosperity, growth, and symbolize the strength of the American farmer. Now moving on to the specific coin we're looking at today, the 1941 wheat penny. This coin was struck in 3 different U.S. mint facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark, the Denver coins have a small D mint mark under the date, and the San Francisco coins have an S mint mark in the same position. In total, over 887 million 1941 Lincoln cents were produced across all 3 mints. So yes, these coins are fairly common in circulated condition, but as always with coin collecting, the devil is in the details. Let's break it down by mint location and see what makes each variation special or valuable. Starting with the 1941 penny from the Philadelphia Mint. This one is the most common, with more than 684 million coins struck. If you have one of these in your change jar, it's likely in circulated condition, which means it's probably worth a few cents to maybe $1 or $2 depending on the wear. However, if your 1941 Philadelphia penny is in uncirculated condition, or better yet in mint state red, then the value can climb. High-grade examples certified by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50. Some rare high-end examples, particularly those graded MS67 red or higher, have sold for over $100. There's also a premium for full red coins. These are coins that have retained their original red copper color. Because copper tends to oxidize and turn brown over time, true red coins from 1941 are much rarer and highly desirable among collectors. Next up is the 1941 D wheat penny from the Denver Mint. About 128 million of these were produced, making it significantly scarcer than the Philadelphia version, but still quite common. Most circulated 1941 D cents are worth about 10 to 30 cents. In higher grades like MS65 or MS66, you might see values in the range of $20 to $80. And again, red designation makes a big difference. A red 1941 D in MS67 condition could fetch well over $200 in today's market. The most valuable versions of the 1941 D tend to be flawless or near flawless examples that have been professionally graded. Finally, we come to the 1941 S wheat penny from the San Francisco Mint. The S Mint struck around 92 million of these coins, making it the lowest mintage of the 3. As with the others, circulated versions typically bring modest premiums of 10 cents to $1. But higher grade examples in mint state condition are quite desirable. Coins graded MS66 red or higher can sell for $100 or more depending on eye appeal and demand. Collectors who specialize in Lincoln cents are often looking for high-quality San Francisco coins, and that keeps prices strong for top-tier examples. But here's where things get really interesting. While most 1941 pennies are relatively common, there are rare varieties and errors that can be worth serious money. One example is the double die obverse. That's when the coin die has a doubling effect, often visible in the lettering or the date. If you find a 1941 penny with strong doubling on the words Liberty, or In God We Trust, or even the date itself, you may have stumbled onto a valuable error. These coins can sell for hundreds of dollars depending on the severity of the doubling and the condition of the coin. Another valuable error to watch for is off-center strikes. These occur when the coin blank is not properly aligned in the press, and the design is struck off-center. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date is still visible. A 1941 penny struck 50% off-center with a visible date could sell for $150 or more. There are also clipped planchets, die cracks, and repunchment marks, all of which are collectible and can significantly boost the value of your coin. You might be wondering, what's the highest price ever paid for a 1941 penny? That honor goes to incredibly well-preserved coins graded MS68 red by PCGS or NGC. These coins are virtually flawless, with full red color and no visible marks under magnification. Some of these high-end examples have sold for over $5,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A 1941 penny that once bought a piece of candy could now pay for a vacation, or even a UCAR.S. Oh, how do you know if your 1941 penny is valuable? First, look for a mint mark. No mark is Philadelphia, D is Denver, S is San Francisco. Then, check the condition. A coin with lots of wear is likely only worth face value or a small premium. But a shiny, red, and uncirculated penny is where you should pay attention. Next, look for errors or doubling. If something looks strange or unusual, it might be worth having it examined by a coin grading company. And finally, consider getting your coin graded if you believe it might be a high-value example. A professionally graded coin not only confirms authenticity, but also gives buyers confidence, which usually leads to higher prices. To wrap things up, the 1941 wheat penny is a piece of American history that's still affordable for new collectors, but offers exciting surprises for those willing to dig a little deeper. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or someone who just found an old penny in a drawer, it's worth taking a closer look. You never know, you might be holding a coin worth far more than you ever expected. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1941 Lincoln cent, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future coin videos. Drop a comment if you've got a 1941 penny or any coin questions. We love hearing your stories and helping you discover what your change is really worth. Until next time, happy collecting. In today's video, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American history. We're talking about the 1953 wheat penny. Also known as the 1953 1-cent coin, this small copper treasure has a surprising history, and in some cases can be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Whether you found one in an old jar, inherited it from a family member, or stumbled upon it while metal detecting, you might be holding on to something that has much more value than you think. Let's start with the basics. The 1953 wheat penny was part of the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, a design that ran from 1909 to 1958. These coins feature the image of Abraham Lincoln on the front or obverse side. This design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first time a real person's face appeared on a circulating United States coin. On the back or reverse side of the coin, you'll see 2 wheat stalks curving along the edges with the words 1 cent and United States of America between them. This simple but elegant design earned the name wheat penny, and it remains one of the most iconic coin designs in American numismatics. Now let's zoom in on the year 1953. This was a post-World War II era, right in the heart of the 1950s boom. The economy was changing, families were growing, and coins were in wide circulation. In that year alone, The United States Mint produced the 1953 wheat penny in 3 different locations. You had the Philadelphia Mint, which struck coins without a mint mark, the Denver Mint, which used a small letter D as its mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, which used the letter S. So that means you can find 3 main versions of the 1953 penny: the 1953 no mint mark, the 1953 D, and the 1953 S. Let's talk about how many of these were made. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 256 million of these coins. The Denver Mint produced over 700 million. And the San Francisco Mint produced over 181 million. That's well over 1 billion coins in total. With such high numbers, you might be thinking that these coins are too common to have any real value today. But that's where things get interesting. You see, coin collecting is not just about rarity. It's also about condition, errors, and demand. While most circulated 1953 pennies are only worth a few cents to maybe $1 depending on where, some special examples can be worth much more. So let's break down what makes a 1953 penny valuable. First and foremost is condition. If your 1953 wheat penny is in mint state condition, meaning it looks brand new with no signs of wear, it could be worth anywhere from $5 to $50 depending on which mint it came from. Coins graded by professional grading companies, like PCGS or NGC, often fetch higher prices. For example, a 1953 D wheat penny in mint state 67 red condition has sold for over $200 at auction. That's right, a 1-cent coin turned into a couple $100. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get really exciting. Minting errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. For the 1953 penny, some valuable errors include double die obverse, which means the design on the front was stamped twice slightly off-center. You might notice doubling in the letters of the word Liberty or the numbers in the date. These kinds of errors can be worth $50 or more, and in some cases even hundreds depending on severity and grade. Another error to look out for is off-center strikes where part of the design is missing because the coin was not properly aligned in the press. There are also coins with repunched mint marks, especially from the Denver and San Francisco mints. That means the little D or S was stamped more than once slightly off position. These repunched mint mark errors are highly collectible and can bring in solid value. Let's also not forget about color. Wheat pennies can come in different shades depending on their preservation. Collectors often refer to them as red, brown, or red. Red coins are the most desirable because they show the original copper color as it appeared right after minting. If you have a 1953 penny that still shines with that brilliant reddish copper hue and it's in mint state, you could be looking at a coin worth a substantial amount. So, what is the current market value of a 1953 wheat penny in today's coin collecting world? Well, as of now in 2025, common circulated 1953 pennies are usually worth between 3 and 20 cents. However, uncirculated coins can range from a few dollars up to $50 or more. And remember those rare error coins and high-grade red examples? They can bring in over $100 or even $200 depending on demand and auction performance. Some exceptional specimens have even broken the $300 mark. If you're thinking of selling your 1953 wheat penny, your best bet is to first determine its condition. You can compare it to online grading charts or have it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. eBay and other auction sites are great for checking recent sale prices. Just make sure to compare coins with the same mint mark and similar condition. You might be surprised how many collectors are actively looking for high-quality 1953 pennies to complete their sets. So to sum it up, the 1953 wheat penny may not seem rare at first glance, but it holds a rich place in American coin history. Its high mintage makes it accessible to collectors of all levels, but the value climbs significantly for those rare high-grade examples and minting errors. Whether you're a new collector just getting started or a seasoned numismatist, keeping an eye out for these little copper coins could pay off in a big way. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1953 wheat penny, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin videos, and leave a comment below letting us know what rare coins you've come across. Stay curious, keep collecting, and we'll see you in the next video. Today we are diving deep into one of America's most iconic and beloved coins. That's right, the 1956 wheat penny. This little copper coin, worth just 1 cent when it was minted, could be worth a surprising amount of money today. Whether you found one in your pocket change or inherited a collection from a relative, knowing the true value of a 1956 wheat penny could make your day. So sit back and let's explore the fascinating history, interesting facts, mint varieties, rare errors, and the current market value of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. Let's begin with a bit of history. The wheat penny, officially called the Lincoln cent, was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and featured Lincoln's portrait on the front, making it the first regular issue American coin to depict a real person. On the reverse side were two stylized wheat stalks surrounding the words 1 cent, United States of America. These wheat ears gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. Now fast forward to the year 1956. That year, the United States was booming post-World War II. Dwight D. Eisenhower was president, Elvis Presley had just released Heartbreak Hotel, and the average American house cost around $11,000. During this period, the U.S. Mint was still producing wheat pennies, with 1956 being the second to last year before the wheat design was retired in favor of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959. In 1956, there were two main versions of the wheat penny minted. One from the Philadelphia Mint, which has no mint mark, and one from the Denver Mint, which has a small d under the date. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 485 million wheat pennies in 1956, while the Denver Mint produced over 1 billion. That means over 1.5 billion wheat pennies were struck in 1956, making them fairly common in terms of total numbers. But here's the twist. Not all 1956 wheat pennies are created equal. Some versions, especially high-grade uncirculated examples, or those with unique minting errors, can be worth much more than a single cent. In fact, in recent years, some rare and pristine 1956 pennies have sold for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars at auction. Let's talk about condition. The value of a wheat penny, like any coin, largely depends on its condition. Most 1956 wheat pennies you find in circulation will be in average condition, meaning they have signs of wear, scratches, and possibly discoloration. In this condition, their value is generally only a few cents above face value, maybe 5 to 10 cents to collectors. But if your 1956 penny has crisp details, strong luster, and no signs of wear, it could be an uncirculated coin, and that's where the value starts to climb. Uncirculated examples in mint state 60 to 65 condition can fetch between $3 and $25 depending on the grade, and if the coin has attractive toning or other eye appeal, then we have the top-tier grades. Mint state 66, 67, and even mint state 68 pennies are extremely rare, especially with full red color, the term used for coins that still retain their original copper shine. A 1956 Denver penny graded MS67 red by a major grading company like PCGS or NGC can be worth between $75 and $150. And if you're lucky enough to own a coin graded MS67 Plus or higher, it could easily bring in several $100s. Now let's talk about something even more exciting, error coins. That's right. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors can make an otherwise common coin extremely valuable. One of the most well-known and sought-after errors for the 1956 wheat penny is the doubled die. A doubled die occurs when the die that strikes the coin is improperly manufactured, causing the design elements to be duplicated slightly. On a double-die 1956 penny, you might notice the date, the lettering, or the motto "In God We Trust" appearing slightly doubled. These coins are rare, but collectors pay big money for them. Depending on the strength of the doubling and the condition of the coin, a 1956 double-die penny can sell for anywhere from $50 to over $500. There are also other types of errors that can boost value, including off-center strikes, repunchment marks, die cracks, clipped planchets, and more. An off-center 1956 wheat penny with clear date and mint mark, for example, can easily be worth between $25 and $100, or more depending on how dramatic the error is. If you're wondering how to tell if your 1956 penny is valuable, here are a few tips. First, look at the overall condition. The less wear, the better. Second, check the color. Full red coins are the most valuable, followed by red-brown and then brown. Third, look closely for any signs of doubling or unusual features. A good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help. And fourth, consider getting it professionally graded. A certified coin from a respected company like PCGS or NGC can increase buyer confidence and boost the value of your coin. So, what is the current market doing for 1956 wheat pennies? As of mid-2025, most circulated examples are still very common and only worth a few cents. However, uncirculated coins are in high demand among collectors. MS65 red coins are fetching around $15 to $25, while MS67 red examples can push $100 or more. Rare varieties and errors continue to break auction records, with top examples selling in the hundreds or even thousands of dollars. To summarize, while most 1956 wheat pennies may only be worth pocket change, the right coin in the right condition, or with the right error, can be worth a small fortune. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, the thrill of discovering a valuable penny in your change jar or collection is always exciting. So, next time you come across a 1956 penny, don't dismiss it as just another old coin. Take a moment to look it over, check for errors, and consider its condition. Who knows, you might be holding a little copper treasure in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1956 wheat penny and want more videos on rare coins, coin collecting tips, and market updates, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And if you have a 1956 penny of your own, let us know in the comments below what condition it's in and where you found it. Happy collecting, and see you in the next video.